Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, me and my friend want to present our presentation about managing knowledge and artificial intelligence. Firstly, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Lutfi Fahri, and there are Gibran Fadri, my group member, Rasya Amira, Muhammad Ikhwan Rabbani, Arya Krishna Putra, and Anissa Putri. And let's we start with our first presenter, Muhammad Ikhwan Rabbani. To Ikhwan Rabbani, I present you.
Okay, next slide. The first one is role of knowledge management systems in business. Next slide. The first one is important dimensions of knowledge. The first of the important dimensions of knowledge is affirmed as asset. Knowledge is an intangible asset that the transformation of data into useful information and knowledge requires organizational resources. Knowledge is not subject to the law of diminishing returns as are physical assets, but instead experiences network effect as its value increases as more people share it. The second one is knowledge a, has a different forms. Knowledge can be either tacit or explicit or codified, and knowledge involves know how to craft and skills, and knowledge involves knowing how to follow procedures and knowing why, not simply when the things happen or causality. The third one is knowledge has a location. Knowledge is a cognitive event involving a mental models and map of individuals. There is both a social and an individual basis of knowledge. Knowledge is sticky or hard to move, or is situated or enmeshed in a firm's culture and contextual or works only in a certain situation. The fourth one is a knowledge is the situational. Knowledge is conditional. Knowing when to apply a procedure is just as important as knowing when the procedure are conditional and is related to the context. You must to know how to use a certain tool and under what circumstance. Next slide. The second one is the knowledge management value chains. Knowledge management refers to the set of business processes developed in an organization to create, store, transfer, and apply knowledge. Knowledge management increases the ability of the organization to learn from the environment and to incorporate knowledge into its business process. The figure 11.1 illustrates the four value-adding steps in the knowledge management value chains. Each stage in the value chains adds value to raw data and information as they are transformed into the usable knowledge. And in figure 11.12, information system activities are separated from related management and organizational activities, with the information system activities on the top of the graphic and an organizational, the management activities below. And one apparent slogan of the knowledge management field is effective knowledge management is 80% managerial and organizational and 20% technology. Next slide. There are types of knowledge management system. The first one is enterprises-wide knowledge in the management system. It's about general purpose, integrated, firm-wide efforts to collect, to store, disseminate, and use digital content and knowledge. Enterprise content management system are collaboration and social tools to learning management system. The second one is knowledge work system. Is like a specialized workstation and system that enables scientists, engineers, and other knowledge workers to create and discover new knowledge. Like it's a computer aided design or CAD, virtual reality, The third one is intelligent techniques. It's like a tools for discovering patterns and applying knowledge to discrete decision and knowledge domains. It's like data mining, neural networks, expert system, case-based reasoning, fuzzy logic, genetic algorithms, and intelligent agents. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Iwan. Okay, I'm going to explain about types of system that are used for enterprise-wide knowledge management. This is the table for an enterprise content management system. So there are users that will create a capture text, store or retrieve, manage, review, distribute or publish, and then it will unify the repository. The repository will be the reports or presentation, best practice, memos, digital slides, email, graphics, video, news feed, wikis, blogs, or employee profiles. An enterprise content management system has capabilities for classifying, organizing, and managing structured and semi-structured knowledge and making it available throughout the enterprise. And then there are types of systems that are used for enterprise-wide knowledge. First, we have locating and sharing expertise. This includes online directories of corporate experts and their profiles with details about their job experience, projects, publication, and educational degrees, and repositories of expert-generated content. Specialized search tools make it easier for employees to find the appropriate expert in a company. Second, we have learning management system that provide tools for the management, delivery, tracking, and EDC. The LMS consolidate mixed media training, automates the selection and administration of course, and assembles and delivers learning content and measure learning effectiveness.
Ada lagi, ada lagi.
Okay, thank you, Rasha. I will now explain about types of systems that are used for enterprise-wide knowledge management. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So this is the figure 11.4, the requirements of knowledge work systems. We have an external knowledge base, and then it converts into software. And for example, we have graphics, it converts into visualization, modeling to simulation, and then document management communications. And to combine all of that, you need a user interface. And to do that, you need a hardware platform. Next slide, please. Okay, so first of all, we have computer-aided designs, or CAD. So CAD is a system that automates the creation and revision of designs using computers and sophisticated graphics software. The ability of CAD software to provide design specifications for the tooling and manufacturing processes also saves a great deal of time and money while producing a manufacturing process with far fewer problems. CAD systems are also able to supply data for 3D printing, also known as additive manufacturing, which uses machines to make solid objects layer by layer from specifications in a digital file. So an example of the use of CAD is an architectural design firm, Dieguez Friedman from Buenos Aires, and he uses a CAD software called AutoCAD to provide the 3D conceptual design tools it needs to realize its ideas and develop a conceptual design for the client. Next, we have virtual reality or simply known as VR. So virtual reality is a type that is a simulated experience that have visualization and simulation capabilities that is much more advanced than CAD systems. And they use interactive graphic software to create a computer generated simulations that are so close to reality that users felt immersed in the simulated world. Now, to use VR, you will need a special gadget that is required to operate, and this can come in many forms, such as clothing, headgear, or equipment. So an example of the use of VR systems is Cadillac, a car brand company, and that is to promote their brand new car customers so that they can wear a special headset that is able to see and hear the car in a simulated universe so that customers would feel immersed in the design and the sound of the car and make the customers to be interested in buying the vehicle. Another example is the metaverse. So Meta, or as we know as Facebook, is developing a simulated 3D world where you can interact and visualize inside it. So an example of VR headsets that can be used to access the metaverse is the Oculus Quest 2, which does not require a computer to operate, HTC Vive, which requires a computer to operate, and MetaQuest Pro, which is a headset designed for professionals who works in designs and etc. Next slide, please. Next, we have augmented reality, or simply known as AR. So it is an experience that combines real world with the virtual world. The digital technology, virtual, provides additional information to enhance the perception of reality, making the surrounding real world of the user more interactive and meaningful. An example of the use of AR is the yellow first down markers shown on television football games and medical procedures like image-guided surgery, where data acquired from computerized technology or CT, acquired from computerized tomography or CT and magnetic resonance imaging or MRI scans. Next, finally, we have the virtual reality modeling language, or simply known as VRML, and it is a set of specifications for interactive 3D modeling on the web that can organize multiple media type, including animations, images, and audio. Now, VRML platforms is independent, so it operates over a desktop computer and requires very little bandwidth to operate. Next slide, please. So thank you. That's all from me. I will give this to Ardia. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Gibran. The next slide is about business benefit of using intelligent techniques for knowledge management. The intelligent techniques discussed in this part are based on artificial intelligence, or known as AI, which consists of computer-based systems in an attempt to emulate human input. AI and database technology provide a number of intelligent techniques that organizations can use to capture individual and collective knowledge and to extend their knowledge base. Neural networks and data mining are used for knowledge discovery. Capturing knowledge. Expert system is a process of capturing text knowledge in a very specific and limited domain of human expertise. These kinds of systems are captured the knowledge of skilled employees in the form of a set of rules in a software system that can be used by others in the organization. Next slide. How expert system work? The expert system is a model that is set of rules called knowledge-based. The rules are obtained by carefully interviewing one or several experts who have command of knowledge base or documenting business rules found in manual books or reports. Next slide, please. Next slide is about examples of successful expert systems. First, we have organizational intelligence, case-based reasoning. In case-based reasoning, description of past experience of human specialists represented as cases are documented and stored in a database for later retrieval when the user encounter a new case with similar parameters. The system search for stored cases with problems characteristics similar to the new one, find the closest fit, and applies the solution of the old case to the new case. The next example is fuzzy logic systems. Fuzzy logic is a rule-based technology that can represent imprecision by creating rules that use approximate or subjective values. It can a particular phenomenon or processes linguistically and then represent the description in a small number of flexible rules. The third one, we have machine learning. Machine learning is the study of how computer programs can improve their performance without explicit programming. And the last one, we have neural networks. Neural networks are used for solving complex, poorly understood problems with large amount of data have been collected. They find patterns and relationships in massive amounts of data that would be too complicated and difficult for human being to analyze. Networks discover this knowledge by using hardware that parallel the processing patterns of the biological or human brain. That's it from me. Yeah, thank you. The next slide will be presented by Kak Anissa Putri.
Okay, thank you, moderator. This is genetic algorithms. This is figures. This example is research in the initial population of promises and presenting different solution. And the genetic algorithm uses another iterative process to refine the initial solution so that the better ones does with the higher fitness are more likely to emerge as the best solution. Mike, please. Next slide, please. Okay, this is genetic algorithms. This is intelligent agents. Intelligent agent technology help a business navigate large amount of data to locate and act on information that is considered important. Intelligent agents are software program that works without direct human intervention to carry out specific tasks for an individual user, business process, and of software application. These chatbots are software agents designed to simulate a conversation with one or more human user via intellectual or auditory methods. They try to understand what you type or say, respondent by answering a question or executive text. And chatbots are typically used in system for customer service or information equation. Number two, hybrid L system. Okay, genetic algorithms, fuzzy logic, neural networks, and expert system can be integrated to a single application to take advantage of the best feature of this technology. Such system are tailored hybrid L system. Hybrid application in business are growing in Japan, HT, Mitsubishi, Reiko, Sanyo, and others are starting in corporate hybrid or in products such as home application. factory machines, and office equipment. Matsushita has developed new for Fuzzy, using machine that combines Fuzzy logic with neural networks. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, this is for me. Back to moderators.
Okay, maybe that's all we can say as the presenter group. If you have any question, just ask us later and we will try our best to answer your question. I am Muhammad Lutfi Al Fahri as the moderator to resign. Thank you and see you soon.